dears, welcome back to our science class. I hope all of you are fine there. Today we are going to discuss about a new chapter, that is chapter number 5, coal and petroleum. Before that, if you look around you and identify 10 objects, that will either be man-made or maybe naturally occurring. For example, trees are the gifts of nature to us, and the air we breathe are also a part of the nature. But the car that your dad has and some electronic devices like mobiles, laptops are man-made. So, to make these objects, man needs some natural resources. Then, what are natural resources? Natural resources are those things that are obtained from nature. Natural resources are obtained from nature. Certain examples are air, water, soil and minerals. All these are obtained from nature. So they are called natural resources. On the basis of the availability of resources in nature, natural resources are classified into two: exhaustible natural resources and inexhaustible natural resources. The term exhaustible means something which can be used up completely. That is, exhaustible natural resources are present in nature in a limited quantities. They are in a limited stock. So, we cannot use it again and again. And they can be exhausted by human activities. Certain examples are coal, petroleum, etc. All these are exhaustible. That is, these are presented in a limited stock in nature. So, we cannot use it again and again. Whereas in inexhaustible natural resources, the term inexhaustible means something which cannot be used up completely. That is, inexhaustible natural resources are present in nature in a unlimited quantity. That is, in a unlimited stock. So, we can use it again and again. Certain examples are sunlight and air. Sunlight and air are present in our nature in an unlimited quantity. So, we can use it again and again. Natural resources means the things that are obtained from nature. The things that are obtained from nature are called natural resources. For example, air, water, soil and minerals. On the basis of the availability of the resources, natural resources are classified into two categories. First one is exhaustible natural resources and second one is inexhaustible natural resources. Exhaustible means these resources are present in a limited stock, whereas in inexhaustible these are present in nature in a unlimited quantity. So it can be used again and again, whereas it cannot be used again and again. Is it clear? In this chapter, we will discuss only about exhaustible natural resources like coal, petroleum and natural gases. All these three are also called non-renewable source of energy. What does it mean? From the term itself, it is clear that they cannot be recreated in a short period of time. It will take millions of years to be formed. So, coal, petroleum, natural gases are non-renewable source of energy. So, when we talk about exhaustible natural resources, you should know the meaning of the term fossil. The term fossil means dead remains of plants and animals, and which will act as a fuel, then they are called fossil fuels. The term fossil means the dead remains of plants and animals and which will act as a fuel, then they are called fossil fuels. A better definition for fossil fuels is: remains of prehistoric plants or animals that are buried under the earth millions of years ago. That is, fossil fuels are the dead remains of plants and animals which are buried under the earth millions of years ago. The formation of fossil fuels is not a single day process. It takes millions of years. Examples for fossil fuels are coal, petroleum and natural gases. Because coal, petroleum and natural gases are formed from the dead remains of plants and animals. Hence, they are the examples for the fossil fuels. Coal, petroleum, natural gases are formed from the dead remains of plants and animals. Next topic is how these fossil fuels were formed. We know that fossils are the dead remains of plants and animals. How these dead remains are converted into fuels? Let's see. Here, the starting material is dead remains of plants and animals, which will bury deep into the earth. As a result of certain natural processes or natural calamities like flood and earthquakes, these dead remains were covered with mud and sand. We know that inside the earth there will be no air, but there will be high temperature and pressure. As a result of the high temperature and pressure, these dead remains were converted into fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gases. I will explain it again. Here the starting material is dead remains of plants and animals which will bury deep into the earth. As a result of the flood and earthquakes, what will happen? These dead remains were covered with mud and sand. Inside the earth there will be no air, but the temperature and pressure will be very high. As a result of the high temperature and pressure, these dead remains were converted into fossil fuels. Okay. Next we will discuss about fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gas in detail. First one is coal. Coal is a hard, black colored, rock-like combustible mineral with a high amount of carbon. Coal is hard and it is black in color and it looks like a rock, and it has another property that it is combustible mineral and with a very high amount of carbon. And it is an important source of energy too. Next one, how coal was formed. Now we already got an idea about the formation of fossil fuels. The similar story with the coal as well. Here the starting material is dead remains of plants and trees, not animals. In the case of coals, the starting material is the dead remains of plants and trees. Several years ago, a lot of area is covered by a dense forest. As a result of several natural processes like earthquakes, flood, what will happen was these dense forests were buried under the earth. Now, over a period of time, more and more soils got deposited over them and it is compressed. As a result, we know that inside the earth there is very high temperature and pressure. As a result of the high temperature and pressure, these dead remains are converted into coal. And this coal formation is not a single day process. It takes place with millions of years. And this entire process of coal formation is known as carbonization. Why it is called the carbonization? Is there any relation with the carbon? We know that it contains high amount of carbon. Coal contains very high amount of carbon. Hence, this entire process is known as carbonization. What is carbonization? the slow process, we know that coal formation is a very slow process and we cannot create coal artificially. And the slow process by which the dead plants, not animals, the dead plants buried deep under the earth have become coal is called carbonization. Okay, here we discussed about the properties of the carbon. Carbon is hard, black in color, rock-like structure, and it is a combustible mineral and it contains high amount of carbon. And it is an important source of energy too. And how coal was formed? The formation, the entire process of coal formation is known as carbonization, and it is a very slow process and by which the dead plants buried deep under the earth have become coal is called carbonization. Okay, next topic is coal is a source of energy. In the previous topic, we have pointed out that coal is a source of energy. Why coal is considered as a source of energy? Let's see. Students, we know that coal is mainly carbon. What will happen when this coal is burned in the air? Air contains oxygen and in coal the major component is carbon. My question is, what will happen when this coal is burned in the air? Carbon plus air contains oxygen gives, what is the product? Carbon dioxide plus heat. Here you can see that a lot of heat energy is produced. That's why coal is considered as a source of heat energy. Okay. Next one is, what are the uses of coal? We know that coal is used as a fuels and it is used as fuels in homes. In homes, coal is used for cooking, used as fuel in homes and industries. Next, it is also used as a fuel for generating electricity and it is used to make coal gas and coal tar. We will discuss it later. And also used to run steam engines of the trains. And the last point is, it is used as a source of organic chemicals. So coal is very important, and what are its important uses? Mainly we know that coal is a fuel and it is used in homes for cooking purposes, and it is also used in industry. It is used for generating electricity. It is used to make coal gas and coal tar, and it is used to run steam engines of trains, and it is used as a source of organic chemicals. Okay, that's for today's class. So in this video, we have discussed about what are natural resources, what are the two types of natural resources, what are fossil fuels, and what are coals and their uses. I hope all of you understood that, and thank you.